Hi, everybody. Today we're working on warm and cool feedback.
The overview for this lesson is for students to work together in peer review, utilizing the strategy of warm and cool feedback.
Warm and cool feedback is that feedback system where you give constructive feedback to your partners, right?
After this lesson, students will take the feedback that they have given to each other and revise their essay, and they are specifically revising to show growth on the goals that they made during the course of this lesson.
You have your Siddhartha essays already on your desk, and you have the yellow warm and cool feedback sheet.
Before this lesson, students completed reading Hermann Hesse's novel Siddhartha. Now they're writing an explanatory essay analyzing Siddhartha and his identity as they are shaped by his values and beliefs. Students have a few things in front of them. They have their essay for Siddhartha in front of them that they have already written. They have the warm and cool feedback sheet that says explicitly, step by step, what they need to be doing. And they also have the 6 traits of effective writing rubric in front of them.
Step 1. You need to think back to those goals that we made last week, the writing goals.
The students remember what their goals are, and they write their goals onto the warm and cool feedback sheet so that their partners are very much aware of what to look for in the revisions.
Now, when you write it down, if you're just writing down one of the 6 traits, can you be more specific? Remember,
the 6 traits of writing is a way of discussing effective writing, and the students have in front of them a very clear 6 traits rubric that explains what a high level of all of the 6 traits looks like, all the way down to a low level. And in that rubric, they can see the key language for discussing each of the 6 traits. And I find that it's very helpful for them to use the key language off the rubric in discussing the elements of writing that they see in each other's essays.
Great. So our next step, you're going to turn to your partner and share what you'd like feedback on. Partners, if your person who's talking doesn't say specifically, if they just say sentence fluency, ask them what about sentence fluency would you like me to look for? Okay? All right, go.
I want you to give me feedback on how to enhance the central idea of what I'm writing.
My word choice, sometimes I use gotta or I use slang, and I want to get out of that habit.
Okay, so here comes the sharing part. You grab your yellow sheet, you grab your essay. You put them together, and you give both to your partner. So your partner's going to write on your yellow sheet, and you write on theirs.
The students pass each other's essays to each other, and I have them read the essays silently.
As you're doing this, remember the goal is to give the feedback, right?
I personally find it distracting when I'm reading, so I choose to have the students quietly read each other's work as they're trying to focus on analyzing and finding evidence in text.
So if you're ready to start with the warm feedback as you read, you can do that. Remember, the warm feedback is stating exactly what people would want feedback on.
As they're reading, they're looking for evidence of effective writing. Maybe they're noting a great thesis. Maybe they found thoughts they had never even thought of themselves.
Her thesis alluded to an opinion without having the word I in it, so that improved voice, which was one of her goals.
In your conclusion, there was evidence to show me how your piece came together as a whole, instead of just random pieces sticking out, so it blended together very nicely.
For a moment here, it'd be helpful if I can have everyone's attention so we can talk a little bit about cool feedback, and then you'll work at your own pace, okay? So as you can see, the cool feedback is when you're asking the guiding questions, right? You're asking those probing questions to get your partner to see how he or she can improve, right? So instead of just telling your partner how to improve, you want to find a way to ask them so that they can see what you're noticing and they can find out how to grow on their own. All right?
The first time I did this, I didn't give any sort of additional assistance, and I found that the students really struggled to figure out what questions were appropriate. So there is a PowerPoint slide in the background that has the cool feedback ideas for questions. I give them the baby steps with the sentence stems so that the feedback happens and it is authentic and rooted in exactly what we want them to do.
If you want to look back in your writing folder and pull out that rubric that has questions on it to help you create questions that are in line with that person's goals, grab a rubric out of your folder and check out the keywords for that trait and form it into a question. You're trying to ask them a question that gets them to think and gets them to grow.
How can you choose better words that can help the reader better understand what you're trying to explain?
Can you read the words and phrases flow together as you read the piece out loud?
Can you check out the 6 on the rubric for voice and see if there are any keywords in there that you could pull out and maybe give her a
Voice
hint?
appropriate for the topic, purpose, and audience, deeply committed to the topic.
As they learn more about the different 6 traits, they can discuss their own writing in terms of the 6 traits, make goals in terms of the 6 traits, and speak with other teachers about writing in a way that shows that they understand the elements of effective writing.
So I can say, like, were you engaging and sincere in your writing?
Excellent. And then ask her the follow-up, how do you know? So that then she knows to go back and root her revisions and what. Excellent.
Got it. Thank you.
We're going to share with each other. So wrap up whatever you're writing. Put your yellow sheet on top of their essay. You're going to turn to your partner, and for 2 minutes, you're going to share your warm and cool feedback, very specifically with your partner. Partner, it's not your job to defend or qualify or say, but I did it, it's over here. Not your job, right? Your job is just to listen and to hear what your partner has to say. You ready? All right, let's do it.
So for your warm feedback, I said that your thesis was supported by information, and you had a lot of like good quotes from Siddhartha, and you explained them like thoroughly, and it was like really neatly organized.
You used quotes that were very good from the book, and you explained what was happening, what was going on at the time.
For your cool feedback, did you use overused words that repeated throughout the essay? Because I saw like in the essay you would like which a couple of times in like each sentence, so that was like my question.
What might happen if you were to use stronger and more sophisticated words to help the reader better understand what your intention was? And what else can you do to make your essay more interesting and appealing to? Yes.
So check out step 5, writer's reflection, the last thing. So grab your paper and your yellow sheet, swap with your partner so you have yours back. And turn to your writer's reflection. And now you're going to think of new goals for this essay, right?
The students create new writing goals based on the feedback they received from each other. These goals may be similar to their initial goals, or hopefully, their goals have changed as a result of the feedback that they have received, and their goals now become rubric points, individualized, that I pull in when I consider their grade as I grade these new revised essays.
My goal is to not summarize my quotes. When I introduce the quote, I should, instead of summarizing what happened, I should analyze what effect they had on Siddhartha overall.
Nice. Which one of the 6 traits are you talking about when you say those things?
Well, I think I'm talking about voice somewhat, and ideas and content development.
Nice. First, tell me, how is that idea in content development?
I'm developing the quotes and
There we go. So you're developing your analysis, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to eliminate deadwood within some of my sentences and clarify meaning.
Eliminate deadwood in your sentence. What does that mean?
Like, there's some words that I used, they're like extra information that wasn't really necessary. So I could take that out and I can clarify the meaning better so I could just kind of get to the point.
Excellent. So you're eliminating that dead wood, those excess or overused phrases. Lovely. All right. So for now, take your essay and your yellow sheet, fold it into your folder. Tomorrow when we come back to class, we will take it back out and work on revising the essay.
Revision is so difficult for students because it's hard to instill in students the value of revision. They often find that as soon as they're done with a piece of writing, that they are done. I've tried the one-on-one conferencing, extra credit, allowing them to take it home to work on it, and I find that the warm and cool feedback gives them a system for revision. They know that the feedback is real and authentic and coming from someone at their level, so I find in that sense they are very likely to take the feedback, take it home, and think thoughtfully about it to grow.